umdlali unale mentality yokuthi anginayo i-backup plan mina. This is all I have. Now that is your motivation. You don't need me to come like Jimmy and say, hey, Bafana. In most states, we come from nothing.
Most of the time, Coach Mango was giving a magic an opportunity. He didn't care what he was as long as I teach me, Coach Mango, that far.
Tina, no striker like club in Manchester was who had the ball. So what do you do if you can't head the ball? You must practice to head the ball, irrespective of training. Yabanja.
It's big a whole week there.
Generation,
yes.
Now spec.
Yes. So far, I was memory. So far, I was the key. The best in the was the key.
That left the team. Number 10. Y2K. Number 10.
Ushaanza picha pili. Wewe na choto. Sasa unakalile. Kwa ile mapo ya kazi sasa. Leo ni nani?
Aniyithembi kodwa ibhola ninalo niyalazi anikho la ngephutha uArrows but ukuyithemba ikona okubalekile.
No coach banayo i-ability yokubulala i-confidence yomdlali. Because if I have Usibeko and I know his strengths, ukuthi this is what he can do. Mina as a coach, my duty is to help Usibeko to become a better player. The only way he can become a better player, ukuthi ngimsize kulokhaleka khona. So I shouldn't try to change Usibeko.
Awumshintshi indlela adlala ngayo. Kodwa umenza abe aware ukuthi lento okufanele uzenza nini kuphi makwenze njani. Uyabona lesi.
So uyamguide but awumshintshi indlela adlala ngayo.
Yabo. Waphela nje mina nje ngicoach. Ngize ngibuze hawu kahleni madoda. Sekuphele 10 minutes akho stand.
Yeah, that's good.
Kodwa ni Arrows. Yabona. So nani bafethu fanele mani noto.
Yeah, I think
if khona lento yokuhloniphana yabo.
I think I want to have that conversation, coach. No, I know it wasn't Usibeko because I think it was the season before Les Pumagio. Ngithi mina emajiteng la kulaba singretayile vele lami. Ngithi mina yazi ikhona inkinga but anisho ukuthi yini. What is the problem? Because I can see when you guys play there's this fear ukuthi angifuni ukwenza iphutha. So even when they're playing and nama passes they are safe. Akekho nje ufuna ukuthatha ibhola lento uyenza phofu uzani ubamba ibhola uyithi. Okay, if it's not successful, it's not successful. But bekubonakala intention ukuthi umfana ubefuna ukwenza. But manje mebedlala. Yeah, ukuthatha ama risk nje ukuthi hayi ngiyangena kulo. You understand? I think it's a pity because each generation engidlale kuyona benginabadlali mina kade bethi passa noma umuntu ela. But let it ball. You understand? So you had Philanshang, you had Njabulo Mancane, Thokozani Mshengi. Okay, ngangikhona nesikhathi uSiphoyo khona. I think ngadlala lakhe futhi ngalesikhathi ukubani ngisabukela ke lapho ke. Ngisabukela. So there were those players kade bekwazi ukuthi bayibamba igame. Ukuthi noma kwenzakalani bathi abafethu ashintshe. Same way like ama team amakhulu eBarcelona. Noma kuthiwa badle 1-0 but they don't change.
Mhlambe ukwengeza lapho nje Ntshosho. Enye yezinto iArrows ebeyigudi kakhulu kuzona. Ekufanele iqhubeke nayo ngoba inabo abadlali. Besibabolekisa abadlali. Umdlali ukhona udlala kahle but kuyabonakala ukuthi akakazulithola ithuba lokuthi adlale. Uthola ukuthi uzojima azagcina lose interest. Kanti mhlawumbe masomnika ithuba lokuthi ngenza isibonelo nansi ilokhuzi team ku NFT isola abadlali iyahamba ngenza isibonelo njengani nina nje ninobela nkulu ukuze ngibe close kumina
ngaya coach Bilathi Lions. Bilathi Durban Stars.
Ubelankulu ya Durban Stars.
Yeah.
Nafike namarecord. Nadlala week in week out. The following year one land uBramesh nafika nazokala. Naqala namarecord futhi because lo iyamthembisa. Abafana abamanje mhlawumbe ubona ukuthi umuntu makuthiwa uyabolekisa usiwa kwenye team bathi team yakhe manje cha bathi hambe uyoqinisa ukhakhayi maseliqinile ukhakhayi owethu vele wena uyabuya uzosebenza uqhubeka indlela usubuya you are even more because ukujima every day kungabikho friendly match bahambe bodlala abantu wena uzophinda uzojima hambe babulala kufanele mhlawumbe ifakwe le mentality ukuthi mangozudlala kuthina ubani ozodlala masibhekwa noma mhlambe sifuna ukuvula izikhalo uthola siyadlala kukhona lesibona basishoda khona but we have so many numbers of players so mawuletha omnye umdlali sekuba inkinga mhlambe soba nenamba eningi bakwamukela ukuthi mawubolekisa ukusho ukuthi ubhethe ungabheka even overseas kulama bhola esibukayo thola ukuthi umdlali ubolekiswa somewhere abuya zoba inkinga first hours of this world baqala baya elokhuzeni bodlala kwezinye indawo baphinde bazoba izitha so nathi sinazo izitha zethu babe izitha kuthina saqala sabachitha hayi ukuthi sasibachitha hambani niyodlala bese niyabuya seni ready senizosetshenziswa
yabona ilento iArrows yomshengu
yethu hayi
iyashaya Sundowns yabeka Emlazi Emlazi 5 umlungu lo Sundowns wahlanje ebona umshengu seniyithinta lento ekuthiwa manje i-showboating engathi lo gama mhlambe lama tournament ase-Soweto mhlambe la ubona khona umuntu around azahambe ngamadola kulona-ke ibhola kodwa ibhola lase-South Africa kulona i-showboating kwakushawa lona-ke sinokhwa cabanga inokhwa against Sundowns ulento efika uKhabo Zondo esanda ukufika nje uKhabo Zondo
so kwaba nje continuity from each generation yomshile lo lakhe they hand over ko George so George ufuna understand ukuthi ilahlekaphi because uyabona ukuthi swela lo team lokinyuka from NFP yaza from 2000 so uyabuka nje ukuthi continuation kade kukhulunywa ngebrotherhood la ukuthi yonke lento yakhiwe ukuthi team unit wona wonke ama department not just players kade ihlezi ibond kade isikerisha kuze kufike ipoint la Jojo nidlala khona phela ngizothi mina iArrows nani cishe nayilalisa ngoba there was a stage la i-team yadlala khona i-team yaze yarelegate so ufuna usithathe through from ukuthi na handover lo umshibi team nadlala ama-challenges enawafeyisa nina up until uswini MTN 8 then after MTN 8 yini leshobisa phansi i-team izirelegate
I think their generation yethu first thing I need to highlight their generation was spoiled with a lot of talent. There was too much talent. If you look at the 11 players that played the Ilokuzani MTN 8, kuleyo talent, as much as being a talent, but there was no discipline. You understand? Because I think there were so many cases. I think Upramish, if he had to find each and every player who was ill-disciplined, a clapping, I think maybe Ama fines Aingawenza was maybe they are close to 500,000. Indlela abadlali kade behlupha ngakhona. But ke ngokuba lo muntu ade uyena ubekwazi ukuthi abanye abadlali aphinde akwazi ukuthi afake discipline lapha nalapha. I think ikuya siya kwiLokuzane kwi-MTN 8. I think nje one of the things that eyenza ukuthi sibe motivated more than anything. This was the first time uSisimanto wasithengela amasuit. Very first time siqala nje ugqoka amasuit. Already lokho alone it was it was a confident boost. And another thing that I need to highlight which I feel is very important. Ngikhumbula ugogo because ngangihlala no-PT nogogo no-Bramish eLamonti mina. Ngikhumbula ugogo kusanda ukudlula uBramish. Athi ugogo kumina, mntanami useze wahamba umntanami engazange nimjabulise ngalendlela kade eyiyo kunina. And then lapho sasidlala sasakuyona M108 ngithi and I said joking ngathi hayi gogo ukhululeke le cup le sizoyithathela yena and because nami ngiyakholela ukuthi it deserves ukuthi athole ama flowers akhe because azange salithola ithuba lokuthi yabo simenzele into enhle. And then that very same day ebusuku silele sahlala kumbhedeke thina ibank umshengu lemphezulu kulele ngezana uthi umshengu mangethe ngizula ukukhuluma nogogo lento ekhulumeni ngithintile so ngizoshaya igoli on that game and ngizosibhala iskip ungatsheli umuntu because yes wathi ungatsheli umuntu ngoba imina kuphela umdlali engifuna ukuthi angiziveze lesi skip sengithi mina okay i secret ebetween nawe so mangabe i-team isethwa ngibona umshengu usebhenchini so now sengiqala ngiba worried ngidlala uphila no lokho izokwenza kanjani lento le okutshengisayo ukuthi ne yonke into eyayenzeka on that day it was spiritual. Yayiveli isihleli ukuthi ne iyokwenza kanjani. So the day so ecampini so hamba siye campini ugogo athi mntanami ozala yekuyena athi uyakhumbula ukuthi wathini ngithi mina hayi gogo ngiyakhumbula kahle athi ke mntanami nenze njalo akube njalo ithi hayi gogo kuzoba njalo sihambe siyodlala. The time isishaya igoli lokuqala kumina ke kwaqala bathi hayi man yeah saqala sa believer ukuthi hayi bo man kuzokwenzeka kodwa ke before that ngicabanga ukuthi ucoach wa resign uAjax kwaba nje nezinto eziningi uAjax yababe deala nazo ngaleso sikhathi
kufanele abuyele emuva.
Yes so igoli lokuqala mangena hayi ngisho ukuthi hayi yabona ke now this is it akungenele lesibili kungenele lesithathu and on the day uzubona ukuthi lento uNkulunkulu wayehlelile noBramish wayekhona ispirit sakhe sesikhona egroundini akekho umdlali who had a bad day at the office on the day the whole 11 and also nama subs and speaking about Umshengu came on as a sub and he came on and then he scored a goal and then that is when that moment le ayifuna ukuyiveza
This is for you.
Yes you understand so I felt ukuthi mekwenzeka konke lokho uBramish mina umoya wami wathola ukuthula ngoba ngiyacabanga ukuthi nesamnikeza I deserve and umshengu wakwazi ukuthi akuveze because ningawina niwine but kungabi khona le defining moment ukuthi nekhona umuntu like esenzela yena yonke lento le yabo so medlula ke lapho kune M108 everything is going well ngaleso sikhathi I think abadlali they kama abadlali mhlawumbe bo 4 or 5 ababe neimoto before the M108 okay umama asinikezeke amabonus asijabulisa I believe I might be wrong ukuthi inkinga yaqala lapho that hunger yaqala yehla because now besijwayele ukuhlangana size ngetaxi shaya abantu umuntu yabo leyo nto leyo so there was that hunger ukuthi hey guys we need to but after sekuthengwe imoto almost wonke umuntu wayesenemoto
senhlangane grounding manje Jimmy
yes leya brotherhood leya
that spirit of brotherhood was not there
yes asekho umuntu usangena emotweni yakhe ashonele umuntu usangena emotweni yakhe ashonele yes asanoxoxa nange training ukuthi hey bafethu asekubhizi phela manje asanoxoxa nge training hey bethu yabo
ade behlale Lamont sebasobe uhlala iflat
yes yabo
upitisa sele yedwa nogogo manje
asala nami mina ugogo uPT mina ugogo uPT sasesele lapho okay ngaleso sikhathi so bonke abadlali babehlala emaflexini athi ugogo awindawo wena so ngangihleli nabo until kwaze kwafika ekugcineni so I think ukuthi with that hunger yaphela the motivation yaphela the passion I think because there were players who were like hey mfethu we used to do this athi hayi no phela you understand so khona abadlali ongasakhona ukuba bathethisa nokubatshela you understand nalento uthi hayi thina we are the only generation eyenzela iclub lento le kanje yeah you understand so you could see ukuthi nasejimini ukuthi hayi yabo manje we're not going the right route ke manje izinto seziyaqala manje seziyashintsha yabona
nokutsha babekhona ngaleso sikhathi nansi singasabalaleli
yeah
singasa comply
yes and I think ilento esibulalayo also like abadlali you find a player has a very good season player of the season man abakwazi ukureplicate the same season ababe nayo because siyashesha ukusutha you understand ushesha usuthe you understand ngisho siyashesha ukusutha I think to answer you I think ihanga yaphela nje majiteni even when the club you could see ukuthi hayi club iyahamba but you could see that there were some other players who like nane into yabe inkinga kakhulu nokuhletshelwa amanye ama team amakhulu because that group had a lot of offers lots ababefuna abadlali lapho I think naleyo nto psychological abanye abafowethu yabalimaza so kwase kufika lapho afika khona kwangafanele kufike khona but kwagcina kufikile ngiyacabanga mfowethu ukuthi uphendule
ukuthi noma singaphuma khona la ngiyakho
leyo nto uthi noma kwenzakalani ngine offer endaweni so manje you don't appreciate lento onayo usubona wena ngazi ukuthi la uzoya khona kuzoba ngcono and into ebhlungu ukuthi most of those players kwathi ke club relegate lawo ma offer lawo akade you understand
so ithini pain isibeke ukuthi season yokuqala sipromotiwe siku first team then all of a sudden team ishona phansi ithini pain lapho
mina ngaba nenhlanhla ukuthi ngabafica kamajita especially la kade bedlala M1080 final nandana uJojo Philana nandana okay safika yonke into isharp basamukela kahle nje eza obhodi nandana and uyazi Jojo responsibility kakhulu but hey kwakuhlungu ngempela because nathi sithatha sisangena kwilento lokuthi PSL players even though sasingadlali that much but nathi sasitana leyo nto ukuthi hayi ithuba liyeza because most of the time ucoach Manqoba was giving amajika opportunity he didn't care ukuthi umncane umdala as long as wenza kahle ejimini coach Manqoba yakufaka yabo so ukuthi team relegate hey kwabanzima but ayikho into esingayenza because that time I only played one game, the Pirate, which was very debut. It was 2012, 2013 season or something.
Yeah, 2013.
But it was a good foundation about she acting about no George. Because the same group they are promote. It's the same group they was visiting with one season.
Okunye futhi uku-add nje lento esho sibeka ukuya kule relegation eyasishaya kakhulu eyababuhlungu indaba okurelegate kweteam wayesike mina ngangifike eklabhini ngaba nesizini eyodwa yasinda kancane okhumbula ngoba izizo relegate nje vele eyisinde kancane yabuya ke relegate eyakushaya personal ukuthi uzuzile ongayenzanga kahle kodwa okuhle we had a very strong person around us. President of the club, umama wethu umama Mto. He was very strong. Yakhumbula irelegative club. Ngakusasa ekseni wasifuna sonke emhlanganweni head office. Safika wahlala nathi phansi. Wathi awunana manje. Nadinwa kangaka yini bo? Yini relegative? Benithi mani ngagoli nina ngicabanga ukuthi njengoba ngigeja nje 1-on-1 Christopher Katongo uthini? Bese uthesi wabe ba serious wathi into masibhale ukuthi izokwenzeka. Ngithi besikhuluma ngokubhala 2009 ukuthi kwakubhaliwe. Kwase kubhaliwe ukuthi kufanele irelegate club ngoba into ayisho kuthina ngaloso sikhathi ukuthi vele thina besizitshela ukuthi sinabadlali kanti asisena. Sizozabe abanye babo abasekho la kuthina. Sizohambani sonke sehle washo yonke into efanele. Izolanda bonke abantu bebekhona abafuna ukuhlala bazohlala abahambayo ngiyakhumbula wazancenga abanye abadlali omunye wabo ukuthi ungafuni ukuhamba. It is why I'm so proud of you. Nabanye omunye wabadlali abathi I'm not going mina. Ma ngifuna ukubuya neclub because ilo lehlathini ibuye. Makwenzeka ke ngabuya usafuna ngihambe, then I can go. But obviously wakuforce ukuthi ihambe. But isupport yakhe, he was very supportive. Kwangazuthi akwenzekanga lutho. So wonke umuntu ewe-Arrows ngaleso sikhathi kwafanele ahlale kulayini. Umuntu olahlekelwa amamiliyoni, iclub amamiliyoni ukurelegate kwayo. But yena she is so strong. Iyona into engicabanga ukuthi iyaba namandla amakhulu ukuthi sibuye kalula
one season.
Yes.
Nanokuthi le group before badlale i-final ibona babedinga i-Arrows more than i-Arrows. Yabona, ibona babedinga i-Arrows. After we win i-cup bacabanga ukuthi ne bona bayidinga i-Arrows. Yayibona leyo nto le. Kwashintsha yonke into. Yabo. Kwashintsha baba yita baba yonke into okhulunywa ngabo. Yabo, I mina ngani i-Arrows.
This badge is bigger than anyone.
So
here today you can go. But abafana bestand will always.
Yeah, le group ekhona. I hope le group ekhona. Kungakwenzeka nje ngelanga kukhokho nje nayo i-group. Yabo, bangacabanga ukuthi bona bayidinga i-Arrows. I-Arrows edinga bona. Ba wrong. Ba wrong. Yabo, ibona abadinga i-Arrows. So kufanele benze sure ukuthi top 8 asifikeni bafethu top 8 nalenye igroup yafika bafethu. Kanjani? Nathi singakwenza lo. And then bazothatha lezi zinto lezi elikhulumayo ukuzwana. Ngoba ungathola ukuthi they are good players but kuleka le fighting spirit. Yabo mangabuildeka yona bangaba abanye abantu. Yabo. But khona ofuneka akusho ukuze kwenzeke. Nanokuthi hayibo we are watching njalo madoda. Asiboni kahle. Yabo.
I think ngokufika kwena as a legend ngabe intense. Usifike mhlawumbe nizokhuluma nathi sometime. Noma ngenifike njalo but nje ukufika nje mhlawumbe before uqala isizini exa prepare especially ukufika abadlali abasha bazi history ye-team nani ukuthi team isukaphi. Le badge usukulifaka uqhamukapi ola lo. Ngoba ufuna uzolifaka wena manje. I think it would be a good thing ukuthi nje one or two legends bayafika before uqala isizini they explain the culture ye-team nani the style of play yonke into and then we take it from there.
Yeah, enye into ngiyibona ngabe le generation yenisibeko. I think you guys, you are a happy group when you are winning. And then everybody is raising his head with ngikhona. But one thing I've noticed ukuthi you can never run a good run of 5 games. But once you start losing, you lose this game, and this game. Okutshengisa ukuthi mental toughness unina nje nonke. Yabo ne brotherhood kunini ukuthi bafethu kuyanyiwa manje. Yabo leyo nto asiyeni. Yabo because lento if you look back iyenza ikhathe eningi. Whereby you can win 4 games in a row and then once you start losing, and I think under pressure you guys crack. I don't know whether you guys have got abadlali ama-senior players maybe ambalwa azokwazi ukuthi umkhumbi masuzika because you need that. You need players whereby masu umkhumbi usuzika kube khona abantu abazobamba kanje umkhumbi bathi hey yena because mostly like nibancane, you understand, so you do need that someone who's more like elite, someone who's gonna be like hey bafana siyaya la, you know.
Edelele bokusho George yabo ngesikhathi sethu thina angisho ukuthi sasasiluza but mesiluze ucoach engasebenzi kakhulu kwakubakuthina ukuthi we can't lose the second game. Siyiluzile sasikhulumela sonke thina la. Ucoach was there nje asinikeze lawo ama tactics kodwa deep down in our heart ukuthi thina will fight size siwine. Ongcono ukuthi siyalimala egrand ukuthi siyafika but we cannot afford to lose twice in a row. It's just not the other team. That's how it's lose kabili ngilangela. Yabo. Ilento eshoyo ukuthi shothi bavele babhase kumakhanda phansi. Kanti uma lose igame out, it's a wake up call. Yabo, effort must be doubled. If you lose game out, next game effort must be doubled. And then a choice.
And you know, it's when you've lost, I think abanye abantu they dwell too much on the problem, not focusing on the solution. Because if San Luzile, we no longer talk about the problem. Now we go into training, we talk about the solution. You understand? And you find that other players, more coach and coach, I think is one of our coach that management skill. Because njoba no for kanje nama personalities ahlukahlukene. Ungamthethisa umshibe athi yeah no I was wrong. Athathe accountability. Yabo. Umthethi is still using the same tone. Kuba. And then ubaba obhekisa ikhanda phansi. And then law will never react the same way njengalo. So that is when management skill is very, very important when you are dealing with a group of players. I think it's one of those things whereby kumele zizanywe because mengabe kudlala mengihleka nje ngifan. Mina ngibona amaphutha ukuthi okay I think it's him. I shouldn't come ngize ngithi mina inkinga yeni le and then ngingabi nombono ukuthi ayibafowethu mhlambe asike sizame kanje. You understand? Because lapho usuku critical but you are critical ubuka ngeSolomon. Awukho critical ngoba uthi ngiyafuna ukuthi ngibabone abafana be. You understand? Yeah. Sometimes I just write on the group with I boys, including Pala, we know. Well done, boys. Keep it up. Yeah. Abafana ngiyabaphakamisa ukuthi I know keep it up. Even though mangihlala umdlali ngiyamtshela ngithi ayifanaka. Ngazi ukuthi wehlisile. Athi Khotmana ngithi I know wehlisile. I think you need someone who's going to tell you but angikutsheli ngetone embi but ngiyakutshela mase ngithe wehlisile angithi ngikunika inkinga but ke mase ngikunikeza isolution ke emva kwalokho ithene athi ngehlisa kanjani Khotmana mase ngiyakutshela sengikunikeza isolution ukuthi I think this is what you need to improve nala
ngicabanga ukuthi nalabadlali abadala la ethimini ibona kumele basilekelele kakhulu thina abafana abancane esikhulayo. If the team will go away, you will call a parmis at Macan. If born parmis at Macan, no one's in luggage, because it's born in a born, it's really born. The born about the culture of the team and the born about the Vajana of the team. We will be born of us post style. With this corner boy, it's not a mission upon the Sona Panjalo. If Lucy came out to spin this boy, came and squads with no summer approach.
I born in Spital, I never go. Never buy bones by time.
Into ngicabanga ukuthi ubuyibashaya kakhulu.
Mhlambe ucoach ungibuze nje lapho ukuthi ama legends ethu. Manje ngagipha nje umuntu eyedwa ngiphe now sispeak ngiphe top 5 Arrows players which generation yonke nje oyaziyo Arrows ngiphe top 5 just name top 5 bese ungipha best 11 yakho.
I'll try that coach.
I think it's under long.
You think a whole week there?
Yes.
Naleyo spell.
Yes. Top 5 yakho nje, Arrows memory yakho nje, top 5 ozoyikhipha. The best 11 yakho ozoyikhipha.
Oh.
Goalkeeper chance. Tom. Josh. Ace. Ule team. La. Then ufuna nike manje
11 yakho.
11. Ngiyabuyela ku chance. Am I right back, left back, ngisamile lapho. Center back. Akekho kule group ukhuluma ngayo Malkas. Malkas. Waye sweeper yangampela.
Ase group unit.
Yeah.
Oh, ase group unit.
Waye sweeper yangampela. Center back. Khona lo muntu waseZambia. Waba ucaptain.
Bauchip, almost on.
Sonda. Yeah. Sonda.
That was an animal.
O kube umlungisi kumbi. Yeah. Kube ka left le team number 10 Y2K number 10 ka right mfana manje ngikhohlwa igama
Which generation umship?
yeah umship
Right wing.
Why you win?
okay size la ku number 8 ugulo
Ace.
School. Number 9. Ngixolele futhi. Uhenyekani. Number 9 uhenyekani. Siphe sihle ngobese. Ka right. 11 wami ke lo. Washana izandla bafuna.
Yo. Yazi fanele sibhale phansi.
Kusho ukuthi babe ngekho special.
Bakhona. Baningi manje kuhlangahlangene. Number 1 Mthele Mthembu. Waye kwe generation yethu. I right back ayinikeza yena uJojo. Angithenga amehlakho. Angithengi nje amehlakho. I left back or number 3 wami uTom. Ngizovula uTom. Ayisaba lo 5 wami. 4 Y2K. Bese kuthi number 5 wami. Ay may his soul rest in peace Mr. Bheka Phakathi. Ubheka wayedlala wonke ama position. Akushoda uthi avimbe nje kuphela. Wayewadlala wonke ama position.
Mhlawumbe wayivimba wazi.
Right wing angazi kuphela sidlane engakazi avimbe. I-team yami my 11 in goals Mthele Mthembu, right back Zwane Siyanda, left back Mzuvule Thwam, double center back Fana Mkhize and Tshepo Malkas. Defensive midfielders, the 2 defensive midfielders, Ochege PT, Ochege la. Oqala, I can play Musa Bilankulu defensive. Yes. Osibili KG defensive. Okay. Right, Njabulo Mangana, left, Philan Shange, up front, myself. Behind Y2K,
Y2K.
behind Y2K.
Hey, ngizoba bias kakhulu because ngizokhetha kakhulu kule generation abantu engidlale nabo. I think abadlali aba-5 Siyabonga Sangweni, that's number 1. Number 2 Papi Zotwane. Number 3 Pogumbi. Number 4 Malakana because umlingo wakho ngaba fortunate ukubona. Even though I couldn't share the pitch now in egamini, but echimini bengibona. Okugcina umshumayeli Khuboni. 5 young lady. Then starting 11 Sami. I think goalkeeper. Hey, I would go with the Brazilian Darosh. I think ngesikhathi sami why goalkeeper engathi ya. Right back, I don't want to put myself there, but I will choose Usakile Mhlangu. Because Usakile, ngimchoose ngoba yes, umuntu engafike edlala benophile Rantswana bebanga. I learned a lot from bona bobabili. and he happened to be very talented. Left back, I think Eros has not produced a better left back than Mzuvukile. Centre back, obviously, I'll go with Usangweni. I would pair him up with Umusonde. Defensive, I will have Ukuboni. I will also have Kakesho Tikhashwe. And then in front of them, I will have Uchinja. And then on the right, obviously, I would go with Unjabulo. And then on the left, I would go with Upilani. And then Pambili, Masingiba no Henyigan. So that is my 11.
Hey,
they can't say anything.
Oh, tell coach. I'm sure I'm saying what I'll show.
I'm sure I'm not first signing that.
ngamfaka uchance as a goalkeeper uzohlala kalo isikhathi eside performer consistently even though ngeke achieve ngesikhathi sakhe but he perform consistently
Wazomfundisa isiZulu konke
la he right back inhliziyo yakhe nokuthanda iclub nokuzimisela kwakhe unfortunately ngihleli naye kufanele ngimfake uJohn kodwa mina ku left back ngizofaka ngizohamba noSiyabonga Khanyile
George.
Because
Uchinelo was right-footed player, but a left back. Eshamako, no, against it was the Wakorayan.
So, you know, Kona ngimthanda kakhulu amasezami. Umsonda was an animal, a leader, but ukhona owayebuchwepheshe kodwa ebayisilwane masekudlala kaPamba Chinto.
Okay, yeah.
Bese kuzoba ke insimbi uSangweni because wengesabutho. Yabo. Bese ke ngamfaka uPro ngibuya kakhulu Kombi. And ngangimthanda ukuthi he was also a very good lead, he was vocal uPro. And ngamfaka beno uTikhajo he was not talkative but he was shy span. He was not talking too much but on the field to say a different somebody. Bese ngithi ke ngangizithandela vele uJoseph Enyekani wena ama weaknesses zakhe but on his day uJoseph Enyekani will kill any team yabo umvongo uzongena on the right hand side yabo bese ke inkosi Malanga obviously fanele kube khona wazishiya Y2K yabo striker ayizophuqeleka ngikufaka
Don't try this out.
Wenza lento ukuthi eyisho uMagwilema ukuthi if we strike we must stay in the kitchen. Wayengasebenza into eziningi and abantu abaningi babe ngiyabambona but igoli wezolishaya yabo
ngiyakhohlwa ukuthi kwakhona lo mfana weColorado okuthiwa Elton Maribane Elton Berry Elton Berry wayengozi even naye ulakhe nalo lunye uhlanya lo Smith
but mina coaching
I shot it. No Smith.
That's good.
Chanza. Pepo.
Tswane no
Fani,
man.
no Malkhas.
Malkhas.
Paris.
Afana.
Prokumbi. Now Gavia.
5 yakho le
Skin Sam. Chanza put again. Wena Jojo.
Siyabonga Khanyile. Ngizothi Samuel Tepo Malkhasa ke. Esenta Tepo Tswani Middle School. Right. Position Wolese. Vale.
Michelle.
Bona amawingaphi
Ngifanele maphudi khanyela.
Zaza.
Ngilandela.
Wayishiya bakhe.
Fana labancane abadlalayo manje ukuthi ebholeni noma ngabe nama friends kangakanani nomuntu kodwa kufanele kumtshele iqiniso. You need to be honest to each other. Ungasabi ukuthi uzophatheka kabi or kanjani. Mayingadlalanga kahle umuntu umtshele. Kufanele emtshele namaqiniso. Anikwazi ukuwina 5 games in a row and then benizoshawa 3 games in a row. Kodwa nikube normal. Kufanele nitshelana amaqiniso ukuthi hayi sekukhona abantu asebeyitshela ngoba nabo niwine 5 games abesethi umuntu hayi mina. Yilapho kufunakala khona amaqiniso. Uma ningenza into efana naleyo you can go far. Thina sawina ileague ngoba sasitshelana amaqiniso. Njalo ngolosibili ejimini. Hayi usho uma ungasafuna ukudlala. Isho uma usucanga ukuthi ungcono kune club. Arrows mawudlala Arrows mhlawumbe ngoba nikaze niye eLamont. Arrows akuyona sedropini. Baningi abantu baseLamont abahlele endlini ekufanele bakhiphe ngebhola enidlalayo. So it's up to you guys nale group ekhona yama players ukuthi bafowethu lento le asiyimele thina khona abantu esibamele. And nitshelane amaqiniso. Umuntu mayengadlalanga kahle nimtshele. Umuntu mayiseganga nimtshele. Umuntu mayesehlanyiswa imali esenza izinto ezwrong or engasalalela coach. Kufanele nimtshele ningalindi coach ukuthi bamtshele. Nina as teammates nimtshele. Then you go far with that to be honest to each other.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Bafethu mina engakusho ukuthi lento ikwena ukudlala kwe-Arrows it's not a fluke. Awuthathanga ama-chance, which means you are talented. So i-talente lakho kufanele ulicomplimente ukuthi ube discipline. I-discipline kufanele iqale kuwena as a player bese uhlonipha no-teammates wakho. Mate discipline kufanele indlela ophila ngayo kufanele ishintshe. Uyabona i-brand Arrows i-brand it's a big brand. Kumele iphathe kahle on and off the field. Groundini ke okwa coach but even off the field look after yourself. Nizwane njengoba coach Adesh. Tina, you want to see the spirit of brotherhood even in the field of playing. The spirit of fighting for one another. That's what we want to see as legends. The Arrows. Cela bafowethu ukuthi sizwane niyithathe le club niyibeke kwenye level. Nasayithatha sayibeka la sayibeka khona nani ke cela niqhubeke. Ojojo nabo bayithatha bayibeka kwenye level nani bafethu, you take it, nibe kwenye level. Okay, bafethu. All the best. Now, coach, I wish all coach bebe corner. All coaches, please, my again, must express when you are there to guide them. Yes, good at time, all coach of food when they into our office as a sky. Coach Muya Tower again, but pass a lap. When we decide there, I decided to pass there. At no more final pass, but at times the coach for the but again is express one about the punch who won't guide. All the best boys. Come on.
Mina ngiyacabanga ukuthi mongabe umdlali igame uyidlala ungakayidlali. So how you train obviously will determine ukuthi udlala kanjani igame lelandelayo. I always say if ungena mina ke personal I was not talented, everybody knows it's not a secret, but I worked hard and the hard work iyona ekwazi ukungibeka la ekade ngikhona. I was able to achieve better than people who were more talented than me. You understand? So the moment you enter that 4 line usuyayitshela ukuthi manje ngizospan, there's nothing else, manje ngizosebenza. You understand? So if umdlali unale mentality yokuthi anginayo i-backup plan mina, this is all I have, now that is your motivation. You don't need me to come like you and say, hey, bafana. In most states, we come from nothing. Use that as a fuel, as a motivation. You don't want to ubuku mamako enza amawashing emzini yabantu. Ufuna ukumama retire so that uzokwazi ukumkhokhela. Adla ama fruits elabor yakho. You understand? So you take that motivation from ekhaya, from isimo sasekhaya, nezinto ofuna ukuyi-achieve empilweni, uyifake emsebenzini wakho. Ukuthi khona abantu abaphuma after game baya kuma club nana, when your duties after the match, what do you do? Go home, you need to recover. Yes. So that you can be fresher for the next training session. And to lose, it's okay. We're all gonna lose. You're not gonna win every game. But it's about how you lost. And the reaction after losing. You see players nowadays, when they've lost a match, when you've lost, there must be a funeral. You are mourning. You lost the game. If you have that mentality, I was in a funeral the previous match. You're gonna give an angry performance the next following game because you're angry. You don't want to go back to that space, the certain soul. But you guys are not in that mode. You're hey guys, we lost. Because because you keep losing games now and then. So it's not about it's not about you coach. It's about you as a person. It starts with you. How serious do you take your career? Because this is your career. This is all you. Like some players, they don't even know this is all they've got. This is all you've got. And this, the car that you're driving, it pays for your car. The grocery that you're buying at home, it pays. So what does that say? Respect this, fight for this. A good thing are paid. Do you understand what I'm saying? But you know, after this, there's nothing. You understand? Most of you are breadwinners. And if you fail, do you understand how many mouths that you were feeding? I will tell you for free. After football, the same level of respect that you get at home, it decreases. Because now, there are certain things that you can't do. So you don't want to be in that space whereby there are certain things, man, that you outside represent. So we misela and giving everything, every single day, give everything. Mina bengiphuma grounding, bayazilabo lungelo. Bengiwavova. Amasokisi, involve skin, ngimanzi te. Because bengazi ukuthi nginabantu abazofona bezendoda impuphu la in. And by the way, you need to change the situation yasekhaya. So you've got a lot of things that motivate you. There are a lot of things that you that is where you need to take the motivation. Motivation and the way you say grounding. Some of your ground, we are born motivated. This boy is motivated. From the very first day of training session, we are born on the weekend. You can see. But you guys, some of you are slackish, and young coach, it's not like the club owes you. You owe the club. The club is paying you. And some of us, we get paid amounts that you don't even deserve. But the club is like, we think you deserve this, earn it by giving good performances. Singafika sonke sithi hey yenzani ukuthi, but it's all about you. Okay, it's mental. It's outdinging thing. You just need this. Because they'll be days whereby right now you tell ukuthi ucoach akakufaki. How reaction yomdlali yenze njani uyahlina the next game. Uhlina coach, instead of you going to the mirror, ukhumule ube nqunu ube self-critical and be honest to yourself ukuthi the person that is playing right now is better than me. How can I be better? It all goes to what do you eat? Like my fried chips and then you think you're gonna give a good performance. Because this is your temple, this is your man. So you give everything for this, feed your body the right food, rest. Then you're gonna be okay. As Abofala Dr. saying that zonke lezi zinto that you are chasing when you are still playing. Ziso ezikulindile uma uqeda ukudlala ibhola. Uzozenza, you are a club. You will still get time. Unkulunkulu will give it after football after 30 years. You will still get time. So the little time that you have, give everything that you have. Everything that you have. And you will see. There's no way you're not going to be successful. And put God as the foundation. Pray. I know players got different beliefs. Whatever that works for whoever, it doesn't matter. But when I tell you, I'm going to tell God about this match, about because uNkulunkulu cannot defend in Angayas. Talk to him, tell him what do you want, and then back it up with ukusebenza kanzima. That is where you meet your luck.
Sokuqedela ngisayiphinde ukuthi siyacela kubadlali bethu le generation. Ake nizifundise nje ukwenza izinto. Uniyazazi ukuthi yini eniweak kuyona. As a player moy winger, how many crosses do you cross per match? How many runs have you done? How many dribbles have you done? So if we are weak in crossing, give yourself time. Cela ozakweni. Wabzali ngeke azanqaba ukushiya namabhola ukuthi practice ama-cross. I'm just making an example. If we are weak in heading the ball, Tina, no striker like Clapton man just now to head the ball. So what do you do if you can't head the ball? You must practice to head the ball, irrespective of training yabadlali. Because uyazazi ukuthi weakness yami iyashawa i-cross ngiheada phezu kwepali, ngiyabaleka kwesinye isikhathi uma ngithi ngiyaheada zonke lezo zinto. That's your strength. More defender awukwazi ukuthi ube wena ophula over. Your job is to defend. When we animal, people must be afraid of you. Not saying kill the opponent because uzokwenza ama-free kick angenasday. But akeza umuntu uma ufikile naye. Ungathi ama-defender ethi wona shawayo. Kanjani madoda uyi-defend, wena obona yonke into. Yabo? Sikhuthazane, into engifuna ukunikhuthaza wona nabafana abancane ukuthi ungalindi abafana abadala ukuthi baba ama-leader kuwena. Thina sibe nomlando la eSouth Africa ukuthi umfana na-20 ulead national team as a captain and a club captain. Unfortunately lo muntu wakuse-KZN ukhohlwa yonke into ngayo kodwa uma ukhuluma ngombulelo Mabizela. And another thing efuna niyazi nge-Arrows, Arrows produces international. Umdlali uyasuka ku-Arrows straight aye phesheya yafika hlali okhombisa ukuthi ukukhama kweclub ne-foundation. So kufanele madoda ukuthi sizimisele ake siwenze ama-extra training. Njengoba bekhuluma kanjena nje babengahambi. Decide abafika early before kuqala i-training or bazinika u-30 to 30 minutes after belent. Uyazazi umuntu ukuthi uwiki kuphi. Ngiyabonga kakhulu good luck, siyanithanda. We are behind you. I will always make the noise, it's natural. So the arrows ngezinhliziyweni zethu because the club enemlando nakuthina siyaphila siphila ngayo. Ayethi imndeni yadla edla ngayo. So masingahambi izinto kahle kuningi kusho ukuthi nathi izinto zethu azihambi kahle. All the best. I know ukuthi we are coming back starting on the 26th. So good luck, guys.
We are winning. We are winning, boys. We are winning. You need to believe.
Yeah,
The most important thing is to believe. You need to
Say
believe.
win, let's say win. Next game say win.
You need to believe. Believe in your
Mina
abilities.
umbuzo enginawo njengama-legend.
Sisidinga ukuthi awubeka mbala.
Sibuya sistrugglisha ngokuthola ama-point sekunesikhathi eside. Mina libuka ibhola umbuzo enginawo ukuthi yini engicabanga ukuthi singayenza as experience eninayo ebholeni ukuze sibuye njenge-team sikhona ukuthola ama-point siqhubekele phambili.
Coach, ungacover lapho. Ubuza ukuthi yini abangayenza to improve i-situation le abakuyona at this moment going forward.
Ukudlala as a team futhi. Nalento le extra training laba bayasaba ukucela uma khona shoda ngayo. Uyasaba ukusho ukuthi coach manje ngiboya ngathi ngiyashoda mhlamba ama free kick. Ubona mase kudlala umuntu obeka i free kick kahle ucanga ukuthi hayi shothi uyayipractice. Hawu. Avela shaya khona flare ukuthi hayi. Kamlelelele ubani. Yonke into uyayipractice extra training njengoba kade yasho ukuthi babefika 30 minutes before or after training basala. Izinto sasizenza nathi lezo. Mina ngihamba ngemoto ka 3000 engayithenga iToyota Corolla. Nginamabhola u10. Ngipractice njalo ngithatha uPetson Msimu ugoalkeeper. Ngiyomshayela nje. Kangazi ukuthi mangilanga ngakora mangilanga ngakora mangilanga ngikora. Ngoba i-practice. Yabo. So nani bafethu. Nina niphuma la nivele nigijime ne-mall. Saturday sobeka i-free kick sifuna ukuyishaya kadade usemall.
Enye into abafana coach uthola ukuthi like umfana akadlali is not playing. Akalona irecord. Ucoach aneda memeza athi weekend off. Ujabula yena kuqala. Akadlali. And then now when the other players la kade bedlala they are taking a break. Now uthatha i-break. Uyibuza ukuthi uthatha i-break yani. Because awudlali. So kusho ukuthi le off le wena yakho ukuthi uzama ukuthi uyolungisa. Because njengoba ndlala nje kanje le-team usengibuza wena what do you think is the problem ekutheni you guys you can't make 5 passes together but ejimini niyawenza umuphi umehluko?
Umehluko engicabanga ukuthi wona indlela esijima ngayo sibe siyishintshe igame esingadlali ngayo.
Nina as players you decide ukuthi okay guys we're gonna change, we're not gonna go the same way ama-coach athe asiye ngayo. Or niphoqa isimo noma nithola instruction on niphoqa isimo segame ukuthi igame it demands ukuthi manje siyishaye.
Okunye ngicabanga ukuthi kuyenzeka mina nokusaba.
Yeah.
Into engicabanga ukuthi yenzeka ethimini.
Hayi lo ungahloniphani.
Siyacasha hayi kufuna ukubiza ibhola uma waluza kanye ibhola wathetha ucoach wonke umuntu siyacasha.
Hayi ungahloniphani.
Yabo lento ade show uGeorge ukuthi kuyafunakala ukuthi uyithembe. Ukhohlwe umuntu ongaphandle. Ukhohlwe ngisho nawo coach. Uzithembe wena. Uthi ngiletheni la. Ulakho izinto njalo. Letheni laba futhi ngisafuna ukudlala lethani la ibhola. Now ungakwenza lokho. Now ungakwenza lokho. Yeah. Kumele uzithembe. Into ezonibuyisa nje bafowethu. Avukama into ezonibuyisa ukuthi kumele niyithembe lonke. Nizwane futhi bafowethu.
Ningabukelani phansi bafowethu.
Nanokuthi into efuna niyazi sekumlando ukuthi ngilozile. It will never come back. Into ebalekile ukuthi how do we start on the 26th? Because now when I 1, 2, 3 again, the very same people who have been there, they will be praising you. So we cannot change what has happened, but we can change the future. What is going to happen?
And this is the same team that was number 1 on the log. Do you remember? It's so Kushuti capable. You guys were once number 1 on the log. So Kushuti, you guys got all the capabilities.
Same players.
Same players. Same coaches.
Yeah.
What changed? The mentality, boys, the mentality.
Sizobona nge-performance against lento i-Royal AM ukuthi hayi nidlulisile i-message. Nidlulisile i-message. Sobona sithi hayi idlulile i-message.
Sobona
hayi idlulanga.
Bathi ngifisela inhlanhla abafana bami. We are with you noma singafika as often as possible ema-gaming, but azini ukuthi sinani, siyancane. You understand? Yeah. If someone criticizes, I ngoba usebulala, uzama ukwakha. Sometimes there's some tough love so that you can be better.
Akokunye nje bafundile sibona siqhamuka nje. Sibona siqhamuka nje emagaming. Sizonikeza nje i-motivation.
Sinye indlela yokulwa no-coach is to perform egroundini. Mawuthi uzomhlinela ngeke ukusiza. Clive wayethi inhlanhla ngishaya igoli athi yona inhlanhla
Ayiphinda next week.
hayi kemela ngibatshela manje lo mlungu akangazi kahle mina ngizoyishaya against Arcade ngizoyishaya ngishaya igoli uClive wayithanda ungena egroundini vele ngimbalekele
Hayi sabonga.
Sihleli.
alisona ngiyayizwa esithoma
But singavale.
la makinata iqobolana noma ifake.
Let's close our eyes. uNkulunkulu onamandla onke, dala izulu nomhlaba. uNkulunkulu okhokho nokhokhokazi, obaba mkhulu okhulu okhulwana bethu. uNkulunkulu amakhosi onke, uNkulunkulu kaShembe. Baba, size kuwe sabantwana. Siyabonga uNkulunkulu ukuthi ukwazile babuhlanganisa kuyisibusiso, akubona ukwazi nokuhlakanipha nokuqonda kwethu. Siyabonga uNkulunkulu ukuthi umusa wakho uthi awehlisela kithi. Lo mkhuleko uNkulunkulu uqondene uNkulunkulu kubafowethu Lamontville Golden Arrows abasasimele abasadlala manje. Siyacela uNkulunkulu ukuthi lapho bebuthakathaka khona ubaqinise. Wena owaziyo uNkulunkulu onamandla onke. Uphinde uNkulunkulu wehlise nomoya ukuthi uNkulunkulu bazethembe. Uphinde wehlise nomoya wobumbano, wehlise nomoya ukuthi bathandane bebodwa. Uphinde uNkulunkulu wehlise nomoya ukuthi bakwazi ukuthi uNkulunkulu mengabe bewile bayithola indlela yokuthi uNkulunkulu bakwazi ukuthi basukume. Ngiyabakhulekela Nkosi enamandla onke. Ngiyabacelela uNkulunkulu namandla ngoba uNkulunkulu ngibili kulesi simo ade bekusona. Ngiyakwazi ukuthi kubuhlungu kanjani ukuthi uyimisele isonto lonke ukuthi uyafika emidlalweni imphumela ingahambi ngalendlela. Siyacela ke uNkulunkulu ukuthi ubuyise ithemba. Siyacela ke uNkulunkulu ukuthi wehlele uNkulunkulu einyaweni zabo ngoba uNkulunkulu baphile uNkulunkulu italent. Sisicela kuwena ke mnini mandla onke ngoba wena uNkulunkulu owapha leli talent. Wathi uNkulunkulu asokubiza ngezikhathi zonke uzoza kuthina. Namhlanje ke sikubiza ngegama leLamontville Golden Arrows. Sicela uphakame Inkosi yezulu sibonakalisa ubukhulu bakho. Seke wayibonakalisa izikhathi eziningi. Kwazi kwangena nendebe uNkulunkulu kulona leli qembu. Kusangenzeka seke sahlala esicongweni uNkulunkulu sajabula kwakuhle. Kusangenzeka uNkulunkulu ngoba wena uNkulunkulu emhlabeni nasemazulwini. Mase sibizela ke igama sekuphelele. Siyacela ke uNkulunkulu ukuthi ubusise ukuthandaza kwethu. Ubusise nohambo lwethu esolihamba sihamba semakhaya indlela ezihlukahlukene uzivikele engozini zayimoto. Sicela konke kube kuhle konke kube ukukhanya. Sicela imiphumela emihle emidlalweni elandelayo ngoShembe unyazi lezimani naphakade. Amen.
Amen. Sicela ngamakinata.